Hello sweeties! It's the week of the 25th of October 2020 and wow, this is one of those weeks. It is literally all happening, and just because half the planets are still moving backwards doesn't mean we can't make something amazing happen. When the planets are retrograde, our instincts are so much sharper. We just have to trust our inner magician to take charge. So we've got the blue moon on Saturday at Halloween, when everything that's finally dead in our lives can take one last look around and move on. And we can create something new and fabulous. Do not waste this week. It's a biggie. Thanks for listening to Astrology with Linda Shaw. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and press the bell thing. You'll be sent reminders. That's enough of that. Let's get to the stars. Scorpio, my little coconut, are you sulking? Are you turning into one of those old hermits with a scraggly beard? That's enough of that. Last week was for that stuff, and just because you're going as a very private person, whatever the hell that means these days, doesn't mean you can't have a life. So drink loads of water, throw some sea salt into your bath, languish there for a while, and detox yourself back into life. And sure, there'll be a few dramas as you crawl out of your safe little hiding place, but after Saturday's gorgeous blue moon, there'll be loads of new goodies to play with. Work pressures lift, relationships transform, and you start to like yourself a whole lot more, which is the whole idea, of course. That's it for Scorpio. Sagittarius, you wonderful little nutcase. Do you suddenly feel that you're going even more insane than usual? The thing is, Neptune is plonked firmly in your ear, muttering away all kinds of confusing bullshit about the real meaning of ambition, life, that sort of thing. The trick is to use all this energy creatively as a source of inspiration instead of complete madness, which is, your alternative. You needn't worry too much though. Other planets are already rushing to your defense, with the main deal arriving on Saturday with a really fabulous blue moon, which is bringing a blast of luck to shove you back on track. There's money out there too if you behave yourself. Meanwhile, perspective is the word, as in try to keep one. Ask a few friends for advice. That's it for Sagittarius. Capricorn, my little lemon cheesecake. Are you still having a mildly hard time? It's not your fault. It's just that the planets are so convinced that you're the strong one, that they always use you as their test case when they have weird theories. And their current thinking is that if they give you a really hard time, you'll finally stand up and tell them all to piss off and then find your own power. It's very old-fashioned thinking. I mean, these days, the millennials are given trophies for just learning how to breathe, such clever little sausages. And look how many baby millionaires we've got. But of course, you guys are being slapped about the chops and told to shape up. Never mind. You can still be amazing. In fact, you'll amaze yourself at how much you can achieve under pressure. 3 things. Decide what you want. Ask for help, not easy, we know, and lots of gratitude. Excellent. That's it for Capricorn. Aquarius, my fabulous little ferret. Do you remember that you're the one who asked for all this freedom in the first place? Now it's up to you to figure out how to use it. The truth is, none of us has a clue what it means to be free. We were all brought up with rules and dire warnings and hideous punishments and hellfire. So, for now, all you know is that you're going through a whole range of peculiar transformations and you have no idea yet what the end result will be. So this is where you have to learn how to trust yourself to be who you need to be, to trust the universe to put the right opportunities in your way, and to trust Saturday's fabulous blue moon to create a miracle. All you really need now is to make a list of desires. Read it out to the moon goddess on Saturday night. You'll see something amazing. One thing though, miracles don't always arrive in neat little packages, Hardly ever, actually. That's it for Aquarius. Pisces, my little raspberry ripple. If you would really rather die than ask for help, then you might actually get your wish. Not that you'll die exactly, but you will definitely find your life grinding to a halt if you're going to pull that "I'm perfectly fine, leave me alone" bullshit. This is one of those weeks it's about slow, steady progress. And then, whoosh, a whole bunch of fun things happening around Saturday's gorgeous blue moon. And there's no point fretting about any of this either. Most of the events have already been put in motion, and now you just have to watch them playing out. And you'll have to trust that everything's happening for the best. Also, interesting, get ready to fall in love if you're not there already. It's time you had a mate. Watch your health though. There's definitely no point staring at your life from the inside of a bedroom. Martyrdom is only fun for a really short while, you know. That's it for Pisces. Aries, my little teddy bear. If you're feeling all warm and cuddly, it's probably because you obviously are. And if you're convinced that you can persuade anyone to do anything, it's probably because you obviously can. One thing though, with this kind of energy around, you'll have to remember how to use your gifts really carefully, or you'll find your doorstep is littered with lovesick corpses, and that's strangely not nearly as much fun as you think. Power games are really bad news at the moment. The problem is your ego's getting in the way. Can you imagine that? But if you use these energies well, you can have the time of your life without even trying. Just watch your mouth though, it's babbling again. All total bullshit. Be careful with your money and try saving a little bit for a change. That's it for Aries. Taurus, my little octopus. Are you determined to do 300 things at once, even if you fall over in the process? Well, that's an excellent plan. As long as you're in charge, what could possibly go wrong? Enough of that garbage. Interestingly, your money's doing quite well at the moment. But of course, since everyone else seems to have lost theirs, you better decide how much you're willing to share. You know, be generous but cautious. Not that you're getting off without any drama by any means. Your planets have filled their pockets with little lightning bolts, and they're tossing them about with gay abandon. Nothing to be done really except duck and have a backup plan for when you're hit. It's a bit like a minor war. Love is interesting though. Eyes peeled and hearts open. Something's on its way. Do your best. That's it for Taurus. Gemini, my little chipmunk. Just because the planets are trying so hard to shut you up doesn't mean they've succeeded, not for a moment. It just means that half the time you're speaking absolute crap and losing complete track of what's really going on. Don't worry about it though. Next week the planets start getting their act together and you can start fixing your life. Meanwhile, you're making some interesting new friends and trying out some new recipes for life. Just try not to sign anything just yet, and don't be disappointed if everyone forgets their promises and arrives late for everything. You're probably doing the same thing. But if you can learn any new skills now, go for it. This week, variety is about as spicy as it gets. Play nicely. That's it for Gemini. Handsome, my little sausage pie. You're doing that I'm so needy and no one loves me thing, aren't you? It's hilarious because you're even managing to convince yourself that you've lost all your strength. Did you know that yours is one of the most powerful signs in the zodiac? It's just that you've been raised to use your power to emotionally blackmail people into doing what you want. And the reason for that is you haven't actually decided what you want, so you're waiting for someone else to tell you. Enough of that crap. For now, leave your emotional dramas where they are. We'll deal with them later. Concentrate on developing your skills, finding new business opportunities, expanding your empire. You were born to be a leader, so lead. Just start. You'll decide where you're going once you're putting one foot in front of the other. That's it for Cancer. Leo, my fluffy little rabbit, are you bouncing around in circles trying to find some kind of balance in your life? Stop trying so hard. You have a few more days to figure this stuff out, after which your health will take a temporary dive, forcing you to rest for a bit, which is not a bad thing. And then, how about a detox just before Saturday's very fabulous blue moon? Some deep breathing will keep you calm meanwhile. Here's a message for your tattered little soul though. You're afraid to love in case it's not returned, until you understand that love is always returned with interest. It just doesn't always come from the expected source. There's also some good news about money. Don't spend it all on one celebratory party. Try to be a grown-up for a change. That's it for Leo. Virgo, my little chocolate muffin, you're in a very good mood, which makes a very nice change. You finally discovered that you're just as entitled as anyone else to have a fabulous time. So you've given yourself permission to have some fun. Yay! You've tested yourself over and over, and you're now convinced that you can survive anything the world throws at you, which means you finally understand how amazingly powerful you are. And doesn't that feel great? So, right, what do you want to do with all this magic? Let's start with money, which is still an issue, and always will be until you learn how to let go of all that control. Clutching anything too tightly always kills the flow, you know? Generosity is your new middle name. Share everything, and then let yourself be loved without conditions. That's all it takes. That's it for Virgo. Libra, my little feather boa. Stop complaining this instant. Just because you want everything to be perfect means you feel as though everything's a disaster. How hilarious is that? Would you even recognize perfection? If you saw it, what would it look like? Listen. This is a really big week for you, and now you're being slowly maneuvered into adulthood. And just because you think you've been there for 1,000 years doesn't mean you still don't have lessons to learn. So take that outraged look off your face and pay attention. The first lesson is to trust yourself. Not that part of yourself that's telling you what a dismal failure you are. That's called your negative ego, and we have no interest in that. Listen to the part that reminds you how amazingly powerful you are. It's one of those weeks when you can have whatever you want. Just make a decision. That's it for Libra. Thank you, delicious creatures, for listening to Astrology with Linda Shaw. This is the perfect time to start believing in your own magic and to make something fabulous happen. So, whenever you're out there in the world, protect yourself in a bubble of flames. Then ask your angels to help you and keep smiling, even if you don't feel like it. Smiling lifts your vibration. Give it a bash. Now, if you'd like to subscribe, please just press the button thing. It's free. And have a fabulous week. Remind yourself every 5 seconds just how amazing you are. Give yourself permission to succeed. It's important. Bye now.